Good Sunday morning. We begin with our brand new NBC News poll, which brings more warning signs for President Biden and his reelection campaign. One of our pollsters tells us we are looking at a, quote, presidency in peril.
That's NBC in crisis mode over the results of new polling data showing Donald Trump as the winner of the general election. I mean, look at Kristen Welker over here. She looks like she just swallowed a bug. Welcome to Nerk News. I'm Nerkish. Donald Trump is leading Joe Biden by a large margin, and journalists are, let's say, not taking it that well. Today, we're going to take a few minutes to break down this story, discuss what it means for the election, and laugh at a few journalists along the way.
With the general election just 9 months away, President Biden has declined on every measure since 2020, is struggling with key elements of his base, and now trails former President Donald Trump by wide margins on the issues voters say are most important to them. Joining me now to take us through the numbers is national political correspondent Steve Kornacki. Steve, these are some truly stunning numbers.
They really are, Kristen. And let's just start with the bottom line. When you ask folks, hey, if it's the general election and it's Trump versus Biden, in our poll, Donald Trump now leads Joe Biden by 5 points. Compare that to the last time we polled back in November. Trump was ahead then, but it was only by 2 points. And it's even more significant when you look at it this way. Over time, we have been testing for 5 years now, going back to 2019, a Biden-Trump matchup. Remember, 2019, 2020, Joe Biden led. He led big in every single one of our polls. For the first time in November, Donald Trump polled ahead in our poll, and now at 5 points, this is the biggest lead NBC has ever had in 16 polls for Donald Trump over Joe Biden.
So to recap, this is the biggest lead NBC has ever had in 16 polls for Donald Trump over Joe Biden. Even establishment media can't cover it up, no matter how badly they want to. Now, a normal person would eventually realize that maybe, just maybe, something is off with their worldview when presented with facts like this, but not journalists. Trump has proven time and time again that he's so good they simply can't ignore him. And what do? Do they face reality? Nope. They just keep telling their same old lies and screaming at the clouds. Remind me again, what's the definition of insanity?
Biden, and of course, undergirding all of this is this question of he is the incumbent, Joe Biden. We ask voters, what do you think of the job he's doing? And look at that, Kristen, 37% approve and now 60% disapprove.
And we should say that is the lowest approval rating since former President George W. Bush's second term.
Yeah, and it's put that in further context, too. Bush in his second term wasn't running for re-election. Yeah. Here's the presidents who were running for re-election in our poll starting their re-election year. What was their approval rating? Bush was over 50. He won. Obama was almost at 50. He won. Trump 4 years ago was 46. He lost. Look how low Biden's number is compared to those predecessors at this point.
Their number's all much bigger than President Biden's.
It shows you the improvement Biden has to make here in the coming months. The issues that are driving this, too, the economy, no surprise, we've been talking about it, but look at that advantage for Trump, 22 points. Wow. And securing the border here, folks, say very important, Trump with a 35-point advantage.
The economy is so striking, Steve, because jobs are up, inflation is down. Voters aren't giving him credit for that, clearly.
Go back 4 years ago. It was two folks in their 70s running Biden versus Trump. And we asked then, do the candidates have the necessary physical, mental capacity? It was about even, 41-38. Now, you ask it, 46% say that Donald Trump does, just 23% when it comes to Joe Biden. And think of one of the central themes of Biden's campaign in 2020. He said he'd be competent. He said he'd be effective. Folks said they believed that in our poll in 2020. One of the big reasons Trump lost, but now complete, total reversal. 48% say Trump competent and effective. Barely a third say that for Biden.
That's right. He said he was going to bring stability back to the White House.
The lack of self-awareness here is amazing. Voters aren't giving him credit for it because they aren't feeling it. Despite the BS you guys push and the stats you spin and the experts you have on, people aren't feeling this fantastic economy that you're talking about. Consumer debt is at record highs, the housing market is a joke, groceries are more expensive, inflation is up, and gas prices might be down, but they're still up $1 from when Trump took office. There's a huge disconnect between your state-run propaganda and the reality everyday Americans are experiencing. You're wondering why Democrats are trailing on big issues. It's because you keep gaslighting people into believing they don't exist. But let me know what you think. Will this polling trend continue? Are journalists ever going to learn their lessons? Are you tired of winning yet? Let me know in the comments. Until then, this has been Nerk News. Bye!